He is known for being the founder of psychoanalysis, which is a clinical method for evaluating and treating psychological conflicts. He is recognized for developing therapeutic techniques such as free association and discovering the concept of transference. He is Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, the renowned Austrian neurologist, was not just a pioneering figure in the field of psychoanalysis, but also a revolutionary thinker who challenged traditional views on the human mind. Born to Galician Jewish parents in the town of Freiburg, Freud's journey into the realm of psychology began when he qualified as a doctor of medicine in 1881. Settling in Vienna, he established his clinical practice in 1886, where he embarked upon a path that would shape the course of modern psychology. Freud's groundbreaking insights and therapeutic techniques changed the landscape of psychology. Through the use of free association and the exploration of transference, he delved deep into the complexities of the human psyche. His exploration of sexuality, including its infantile forms, led him to develop the Oedipus complex as a pivotal concept in psychoanalytical theory. Freud's analysis of dreams as wish fulfillments unlocked the door to understanding the underlying mechanisms of repression and symptom formation. As his work evolved, Freud delved into the realms of the unconscious and developed a comprehensive model of psychic structure, comprising the id, ego, and superego. He postulated the existence of libido, a sexualized energy that fuels mental processes and attachments, as well as a death drive which lies at the core of compulsive repetition and internal conflicts. Furthermore, Freud's insightful interpretation and critique of religion and culture provided a framework for understanding their influence on the human psyche. Despite being a subject of debate and criticism, Freud's legacy remains influential within psychology, psychiatry, and psychotherapy. His work continues to challenge existing paradigms, sparking ongoing discussions about its scientific credibility and its impact on feminist thinking. Freud's ideas have permeated contemporary Western thought and popular culture, capturing the imagination of generations and leaving an indelible mark on the study of the human mind. Sigmund Freud's legacy in the field of psychoanalysis has stirred various interpretations, rendering him both a radical and a conservative figure. Initially, critics from both the political left and right considered Freud as a conservative, believing that his theories served the interests of political reaction. These critics argued that Freud urged individuals to accept their unhappy fate rather than challenge oppressive systems. However, in the 1950s, Herbert Marcuse challenged this prevailing view, presenting Freud as a revolutionary thinker in his book Eros and Civilization. Marcuse argued that Freud's seemingly pessimistic theories, such as the death instinct, could be turned in a utopian direction. Freud's ideas have also been compared to those of Karl Marx. Some thinkers, like Wilhelm Reich and Paul Robinson, see Freud's significance for psychiatry as parallel to Marx's significance for economics. Eric Fromm even goes so far as to call Freud, Marx, and Einstein the architects of the modern age, though he believes Marx to be of greater historical importance. Fromm credits Freud with permanently changing the understanding of human nature. Jean-Paul Sartre, the influential existentialist philosopher, critiques Freud's theory of the unconscious in his work, Being in Nothingness. Sartre argues that consciousness is inherently self-conscious and attempts to adapt Freud's ideas to develop an existential psychoanalysis that emphasizes teleological categories over causal ones. Maurice Merleau-Ponty, on the other hand, sees Freud as one of the anticipators of phenomenology, a philosophical approach focused on subjective experience. Freud's influence extends beyond philosophy and into other disciplines. Scholars like Paul Ricoeur and Jürgen Habermas have developed a hermeneutic version of Freud, emphasizing subjectivity and interpretation rather than objectification. Additionally, Freud's concepts have been compared to those of Plato, with similarities found in their theories of dreams and the tripartite structure of the human soul or personality. However, Ernest Gellner argues that Freud's theories are an inversion of Plato's, highlighting their contrasting philosophical orientations. Overall, Freud's legacy remains a subject of debate and exploration, with thinkers from various fields finding value and inspiration in his ideas. Whether seen as a conservative or a revolutionary, Freud's contributions to understanding the human mind continue to shape the way we perceive and interpret ourselves and the world around us. Sigmund Freud, born to Ashkenazi Jewish parents in the town of Freiburg, had a childhood filled with both struggle and potential. His father, Jacob, came from a family of Hasidic Jews but had moved away from the tradition. Despite their financial difficulties, Freud's parents were determined to provide for their children and instill a love for knowledge. It was under these circumstances that Freud's journey into the world of philosophy and psychology began. Growing up in Austria, Freud excelled academically, showing great promise in literature and mastering multiple languages. His thirst for knowledge led him to the University of Vienna, where he initially planned to study law. However, he soon found himself drawn to medicine and joined the medical faculty. Here, he studied under esteemed professors such as Franz Brentano and Karl Claus, delving into subjects like philosophy, physiology, and zoology. During his time at the university, Freud conducted groundbreaking research on the biology of nervous tissue, comparing the brains of humans with those of other animals. His findings laid the foundation for the later discovery of the neuron. However, his academic pursuits were interrupted when he had to fulfill a year of compulsory military service in 1879. Despite these interruptions, Freud's passion for knowledge remained unwavering. During his military service, he seized the opportunity to translate 4 essays from John Stuart Mill's collected works. Upon his return, Freud completed his medical studies and graduated with an MD in March 1881. Freud's early life and education set the stage for his groundbreaking work in psychology, particularly in the field of psychoanalysis. His deep understanding of the human mind and its complexities allowed him to explore the depths of human consciousness, unveiling hidden desires, fears, and motivations. His theories and concepts still resonate today, providing insight into our daily lives and relationships. Sigmund Freud, an influential thinker in the field of psychology, began his career in 1882 at Vienna General Hospital. Through his research in cerebral anatomy, he gained recognition for his paper on the palliative effects of cocaine, published in 1884. His work on aphasia led to the publication of his first book, On Aphasia, A Critical Study, in 1891. During his time at the hospital, Freud developed a strong interest in clinical work, spending time in a psychiatric clinic and a local asylum. In 1886, Freud made the decision to resign from his hospital position and establish a private practice focusing on nervous disorders. It was also during this year that he married Martha Bernays, the granddaughter of a chief rabbi. As an atheist, Freud was disheartened by the requirement of a Jewish religious ceremony in Austria and briefly contemplated joining the Protestant faith. Ultimately, the couple had both a civil ceremony and a religious ceremony, with Freud hastily learning Hebrew prayers. They went on to have 6 children and resided in an apartment in Vienna for almost 5 decades. During this period, Freud's sister-in-law, Minna Bernays, became a permanent member of the Freud household after the death of her fiancé. Rumors of an affair between Freud and Minna emerged, initially started by Carl Jung. Some point to an entry in a Swiss hotel guest book in 1898, signed by Freud while traveling with his sister-in-law, as evidence of the alleged affair. Throughout his life, Freud was a smoker, believing that it enhanced his ability to work and that he could exercise self-control in moderating it. However, despite warnings about the health risks, Freud continued to smoke and eventually developed buccal cancer. In 1897, he even suggested to a colleague that addictions, including smoking, were substitutes for masturbation. Though Freud was initially reluctant to connect his psychoanalytic insights to philosophical theories, many have drawn parallels between his work and that of philosophers such as Schopenhauer and Nietzsche. In 1908, Freud acknowledged reading Nietzsche and finding his writings fascinating, but he did not study Nietzsche further, as he felt the philosopher's ideas resembled his own work too closely. Regardless, Freud's interest in philosophy waned as he pursued a career in neurology. Freud's Jewish heritage played a significant role in shaping his intellectual and moral outlook. His secular Jewish identity influenced his nonconformism and had an impact on the content of his psychoanalytic ideas, particularly regarding the interpretation of depth and desire within the confines of societal norms.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.